welcome to the Lebensinn event. Today we are at Kai Hilgemann Gallery in a beautiful space in Kreuzberg, Berlin. I'm Pasquale Marino, founder of Maecenarte, and the special guest today is Stephen Wilks, English artist based in Berlin. So Stephen Wilks is known for a beautiful project of carrying a donkey around the world and picking stories from Morocco, Mexico, all around the world, and filling the donkey with these stories. The idea comes from skipping all the barriers and bringing art directly to people. And Kai is the son of Ewerdt Hilgemann, and he comes from international art family. He grew up in this environment, and he's based in Berlin with this as an art dealer since the 90s. And what's the reason you select artists in your program?
It's a very personal choice. It comes out of friendships, relationships with people. Well, of course, thanks to my family, my father, I grew up in a certain field of art, which is more minimal art, more conceptual art world that I grew up in. But it doesn't mean it's only minimal art that I'm working with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Stephen, so you are originally from England, but you were based in Berlin since.
That's right.
Since when?
It's quite easy to remember because I came here in 1999, so I actually started working around 2000. If you like, the turn of the century. I often found myself in exhibitions looking at windows rather than looking at the art. And so sometimes I think it was a sort of, perhaps it was also like a process, a compulsion sort of just to find something. Some people have used serendipity as a term. I don't know if you're familiar with that term. It's a little bit about where you start to look for something and you have an idea where you want to find something, but actually by looking for it you end up finding something else which was even more interesting than what you found. I suppose that lies a little bit behind this walking and photomaking. I wouldn't say it's snapshots because I often would articulate situations or try to change and transform. I guess it's about transformation of the everyday somehow. It's almost like a theatre, isn't it? Walking on the street. Perhaps that's a bit the basis.
And you guys, how do you relate with this topic of transformation of the body?
I like walking myself and taking a bike, just going around the city, and sometimes I don't even know what way to take, what road to take.
Not getting lost.
Yeah, sometimes you end up in a totally unplanned area and you discover new ways, new things. So yeah, how to say, it's not everything is planned in life. Sometimes it's rather the way itself that gives you the direction.
Like our meeting,
like we met. It was a pure accident. I don't know. Yeah, it was a beautiful meeting.
Yes. And now we are here.
And now we are here. We are doing projects together.
I don't think there are any projects together.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like I also think that's sort of I don't know.
Magic of life, maybe.
Yeah, some sort of street somewhere. I don't know. So, and also you, Stephen, one of the topics that in your work is this revealing surprising. revealing the surprise. What's about it?
Well, there is. I think it touches something. It's something close to what you're saying. I do believe there are things that are not revealed, and they perhaps are waiting to be revealed. You know? And perhaps in some ways, artists are revealing and concealing in some ways. Maybe that's part of the process.
Truth.
Yeah, I think there's
truths, no?
Yeah, basically it's good and bad in everything, I think, you know, and in the end, yeah, you come to what you could call certain truth, yeah, I think so. And it's true, yeah, I've been busy with I think that, for example, a lot of things do conceal something that is not immediately obvious. I think I've always liked implicit things rather than explicit.
And he was also like, use a lot of humor in this story.
Yeah.
And that's maybe might be the relation between you, because also Kai is a very humorous person.
Like the British humor.
So, Kai, what's about for you? What is, I'd say, from my experience, you are also a humorous person. You just say it's, you are like British humor as me, as that. What's for you the irony in life?
The what?
Irony.
Irony?
Yeah.
Oh. The irony in life?
Yeah, in life.
I don't know.
I don't know the drink.
Huh? I don't know the drink.
That's also
I will come in with an irony in life, yeah?
okay.
Okay?
Yeah. It's an exaggeration or like a fact that at the end it's humorous. It's hilarious.
Yes, the irony of life.
Actually, I just remember a story. Goes quite well with your soup.
I think he gets a big chair too.
Or you can lie down on it.
So,
And you should show them the sweet cake. It's
So we had another guest, a special guest. So Stephen, what's about this project with Autonomy?
Yeah, this actually began was in 1999. I needed to get out of the whole context with the life space stories and stuff. I was looking for somewhere to have more of a direct participation with people out on the street. And so I sewed together one donkey that was made in fell, and it took most of the winter, freezing winter, and I made this donkey. And then I started walking out on the streets with it, carrying it around. And it kind of grew, literally, step by step. And people would obviously start to kind of talk about it. And, I would put it into context situations like climbing up on a statue with horses. In the beginning, I had this thing with the horse statues a lot. You know, because like the horse represents power, and the donkey represents in some ways more aspect of humility, and if you want, could even be taken as something more like a beast of burden, or something from a working class, or it was, but you know, it's also a bit of a paradox, because they do say that Mashiach would come on a donkey, you know, and so you have also rich cultural remember the stories of Apuleius, the Golden Ass. This was always quite a fascinating series of stories. I can probably know it. And so I'm losing my track. So in the end, people were interested, and I was doing all these spontaneous events in the street with the then after a while I had this idea, I thought, well, why not let people take them home? Give it to you, can take it home with you. And so it started a bit off like that people would take it into their homes, and then I had this idea of calling it the Trojan donkey. So it would like actually go into people's private homes. And at that time I was quite interested in the combination of private and public. This whole process of where it starts, what's private, what's public. And, it kind of grew from there, and after a while it was more based as a kind of a neighborhood project. So it would then get passed around. For example, someone said, should I bring it back to you? And I said, no, actually, you can give it to someone else. And so perhaps it has a relation to the mail because in the 1960s, and then we had this whole thing about sending things and then we go further and further to chain letters. And so then I thought, well, why not actually keep it going and send it even further? And then, so we used the suitcase, put in the suitcase, and then we travel even further. And the whole logistics of passing and communicating between people built up this kind of network. It was a local network in the beginning, but afterwards it started to grow. One story that kind of like to relate is about a green donkey that a journalist sent or gave to a journalist who went to Jordan. And she took it to Jordan, and then the war of Iraq broke out. She said that it had been confiscated by the secret police in Jordan because someone had hanged a note or something. I think it was George Bush. It made a joke about it, and it got confiscated. And, the thing is, it got lost, and we didn't hear about it for 5-6 years. One thing, in that time, it was a little bit before we had such a wide network with the Andes and stuff. What I did is put cameras, like these disposable cameras, into the inside. I don't know if you can see here. There's like a bag, where you can put things. And, so people, I just said, you can make photographs of yourselves or do something.
It's a movable chair too.
Is it? I think if you could keep it on the chair.
Yeah, this is perfect place.
So like here, they often have sort of bags and stuff here. So you can fill it up with stories. So anyone who, I don't know if you want to talk about your project, the people could add things to the donkey, so they got bigger and bigger, and this idea of being nourished and so on. And one of the things I did was to communicate. I had an email address at that time. Email was quite advanced. And so I got this email from a dance group in Jordan, no, it was Alexandria in Egypt. And they wrote to me, so a green donkey, we've been using it, and I think it might belong to you. And then we made some connections with people who were working in Morocco, and they suggested I come to Morocco to pick up the donkey. And so from there I had this idea of crossing the border from actually the continent of North Africa to Europe. And in the meantime, we did lots of work on the way in the mountains. We worked with art students from Morocco. Then I carried the donkey through the customs. It was full of stories and life. And actually, what was very nice is some female artists there from the school. They made an embroidery on the side of the donkey in her outfit, and it was very beautiful, beautifully sewn. And I said, well, could you sew nothing to declare on each side? It was a green donkey, so they sewed this thing on the side. And I remember when we crossed the border, it was on the back of the donkey, so I was carrying this donkey on my back. And all the people, like a lot of Moroccans, they were trying to get through the border, but they stopped. And so they were all sort of like in a big group behind, and they could see from behind what was written, like nothing to declare. And so they were all like parents that found it hilarious. And they were all laughing. And then sort of like the frontier police were like, they could see me walking through with this green donkey. What's so funny? And they could see it, and it just sort of was one of those things that were not planned, but made absolute sense at the time. People who are restricted from traveling and such. And so that came to the point where the border guards said, all these letters and things were falling out, and all the stuff.
They wanted, like, they expected the cocaine or something.
Probably, or I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Was that point. And it got a little bit edgy, because they didn't find it so funny.
And we might start a new chain with donkey. From Maecenarte, like rent it out and fill it out with the stories of each.
I think that's a brilliant idea, and it sort of adapts very well. I mean, what I would be very happy is if people could add things to it.
Yes.
They could also make photos and videos, could sing, whatever.
Yes.
Or make drawings in their own home. And I think afterwards, then when it carries on, it will get more and more full of life.
Absolutely. And what's about the cabala, the spiritual implicit?
Yeah, I mean, I've studied Kabbalah for about 10 years now, and for me that's sort of very central to philosophy and life and views things. I mean, in Kabbalah they also have this idea of the idea of the soul that can come several times back. It's sort of like the idea of reincarnation. And there is this idea that soul goes through about 42 stages of life. It's sort of a journey. Like we're all on a journey right now. And each time we make a correction, we're all here to correct something. And so this whole process of life is also a kind of learning curve process, where you are slowly getting closer to if you want, the original light of love. So that's something which has a lot of relation to this idea of travel and journey. I also work with ceramics a lot, and there is one idea that everything began like as a vessel, a huge vessel, and so you have on one side the idea of a benevolent, all-giving life force that just gives, it's just pure life and love. On the other vessel was something that received this. And so it was like a circle, a perfect circle. Something gives and something receives. But eventually the vessel, if you like, our soul, wanted also to give. So that means there was a kind of change in this whole system of perfect circularity. And at that point, in Kabbalah it says there was a kind of simzum, it's kind of a shattering of the vessel. Some people say Big Bang, or if you want to put it in physical terms. And at that point, it's like all our souls were shattered. And so we are all in a way, in a sort of a process to make this vessel, this one soul, back again. And so that's why we come in to. And I think that comes through again what we talked about this idea of the revealed and the concealed, and the vessel, which is containing what gives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to make that too complicated.
No, but I could be with the 42 stages of the soul, like,
yes.
And these vessels, they're like contain pages, but at the same time.
But I think it's just like the after a while you didn't want to always receive, you wanted to also give. And so that process is more like, you say you want to also be like God, you want to also give. And it's called in Kabbalistic terms the bread of shame. It means more or less that you're getting something for nothing all the time. So it comes a point where you say, no, I also want to give.
Yes. I see both things on the donkey, then on the top there is the map of the world.
Right.
And also this traveling with the donkey around the world. So like, how is that? Is it how do you relate with this, the map geographic, the world and the traveling?
Mm-hmm. I see it as less of a physical thing, it's more of almost metaphysical, a spiritual thing. I'm going to come back to that point. I don't know if that's actually something that, I love geography, it's difficult to answer that one. But it's true, yeah. Having suddenly these two pieces together, it looks like it's something. But it's not kind of something that's set.
But it maybe come from this interest of you of traveling, maybe.
Sure, yeah. That for sure is a key there. I think it's also. By traveling, you're also search, isn't it? So, something. Yeah. But I did once also do a series of photos. It was after a while of working in the streets. I actually think it has a lot to do now with even COVID times, but I didn't know this at the time. It was about 10 or 15 years ago. I started a piece called Travels in My Home. And it was based on a story by an aristocrat from Belgium called the author was Xavier de Mace. And he wrote a story about an aristocrat who made a job with someone, and for a punishment he had to stay in his home. He was a bad man. And so during this time he started to write a journal about traveling. But it was like traveling from his bathroom to the bakery. I really loved that idea. So it kind of came from outside, and I just felt like, okay, I'm going to sort of probably went through a kind of reclusive period at that time. I didn't go out much, and I just kept my camera with it and made a kind of photograph just using the light in situations in my own clothes. And
that's a beautiful photo.
some very beautiful things came out of it. I mean, I want to self-congratulatory. And it was very beautiful. Also, like times when I'm 3 or 4 in the morning, which is called in German we call it it's a time where everything seems a little bit blue. Having been surrounded here. Not that,
There's some more blue bottles.
yes, indeed, it seems to come back. You talk about something.
Talking about blue.
Talking about blue, yeah. So I remember making photos of through the curtains. There's just this moment of large window. It's a very magical moment. It lasts a few seconds. It's very, very quick. And it's almost like everything is dematerialized. Like everything's like vibrating. You can almost see like atoms. You can see almost like everything is this illusion. And also sometimes in Kabbalah you talk about this world or Malchut, this illusion. It's the 99% reality is out there. It's not what we this something. And so this blaue Stunde makes me think of that, where everything is scintillating the atoms. It's almost like then it becomes concrete, the light becomes more manifest, and everything is solid again. And so in moments like that, the came up to now. And so we've just been through how many was about a year ago, lockdown, and so people have been actually living this. In another way, all the videos and people posting and stuff have been confined to their houses. And so this was one work that came from traveling, but traveling in your own space. And I think also Kabbalah for me also is something that you're traveling, it's internal for you too, which you're undertaking.
And
you said your own things.
But you cannot do.
No, I didn't do it from eating.
And Stephen, I have a last question about this thing, floor and sky.
Mm-hmm.
What's about it?
Well, I think it's also about elevation, and I was thinking about that when I'm looking out through the window with a piece of blue sky, just to show that this is not staged. It's really, look, is it? In the sky, there's a blue, you can see the blue sky through the clouds. But I think, for example, if you think about walking, to go back to what we said, that's also like elevation or descent, isn't it? You lift your foot up and then you put it down. And there's this whole momentum of up and down. And you asked the question, about ups and downs and stuff. Maybe you did that on purpose. So it was brilliantly articulated. So there is this feeling of how to maybe to elevate also sort of or transform your everyday into something else. So I would see that in that respect. It's more like elevate and descent. I don't know if you can see that tower there, Kai's put up. It's based on the Tower of Babel, the story of the Tower of Babel. And it's based on a tape measure, this Bandmesser in German we call it. This cloth tapes.
The yellow tape.
Now you can
Die Maßeinheiten.
Maßband. Yeah. And so this was, I remember that when I was a child, my mother would be often sewing in the front. I always used to go under the table with these towers and just push them up with my finger and make all these towers. And, I think that came back somewhere along the lines. And this was a little bit based on the Taplin tower, the Infinity Tower, the constructor's tower. And I think there's also that element, and also like, this idea of infinity and stuff, but that's very somewhere else. It is, I mean, I have even heard, going back, someone was talking, it was a kind of a prodigy, that was talking about, like, for example, COVID is the result of too much unwanted and disrespectful speech. And then I was thinking about it, yeah, actually it would make sense, because it's the lungs, it gets the lungs, and that's where you breathe, that's where you talk. Mm-hmm. And so there is so much slander and stuff, and bullying on the internet and all this misinformation. I was thinking, yeah, and then it came back to the Tower of Babel, the idea of this idea of mankind trying to reach the heaven, but actually as it's a story, and also in someone who I often praise is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He wrote the Zohar and said you shouldn't interpret, for example, the Torah literally. There are stories, but in those stories you have revealed the certain truth. And yeah, so this tower was destroyed, but actually what it represents is ego, building up the ego to the heavens. And so then, as a kind of consequence, all the nations became divided, and they had everyone a different language, 70 or so different more languages. And so there was this kind of separation through language, rather than a kind of a universal language. Mm. And so I'm sorry, I'm probably like meandering all over the place, and you can't follow me, but I just came to my mind about this idea of COVID and the respiration and how it affects the lungs. And so this idea that there's just too much kind of lies and misinformation and slander around. Maybe there is something in that.
Yeah, there is this kind of conglomeration, like the information is so accessible now that everything, there's this challenge, I think, to filter a little bit with this information. And
it's very extreme. My son will really probably better edit this, but he got to almost like a reprimand for making a comment about some classmates. We even got a letter from the things that he reported it, and it's kind of. He's absolutely not someone who's into bullying. So he's quite the opposite. He's a very introverted child, but. It can go so quickly. For example, once you say something, it's gone out there. It doesn't stop. It just grows and grows and grows. And it's once someone mentioned it, it's called Lashon Hara, and it's like, if you want to take it literally, evil speech. But that's also equatable with murder. So how can you say something bad is as bad as killing someone? But in a way, you are sort of assassinating someone's character somehow. If you're talking behind someone's back or undermining something, You are in a way.
In some ways, it's also called criticism, no?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are we allowed to be critical? I hope so.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Criticism is wonderful. You have to have criticism.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think there's something different in slander or speaking anti-Zionism. Criticism is wonderful. Bring it on.
Yeah. In media, there is really like a tool called like a character assassination.
Yeah.
That it's used in the media to maybe like sometimes in good, sometimes in bad for like sustain people. George Bush, this main character all the time, or Trump, or like all these characters.
Right.
And it's you know, like I guess in the 70s it was calling this the information age that we are living. So like so like media, this connection with media and information, you know, it's really like the main a major theme of it. And yeah, I think it's something that we will definitely deal with in the next year more and more, because there is, by one hand, as you say, this thing of filtering information, because there's a lot of different things, and another way there's this assassination character that you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking then of Jonathan Swift, sort of actually, you know, this whole kind of tradition of irony and criticism, social criticism and political criticism through irony and such, and gallerist travels.
Good mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a, you know, the story of these two parties, you know, if you have an egg, if you should have the egg this way up when you open it, or if it's that way up, and then it became sort of two major political divisions about whether you should break the egg this way or that way. And yeah, that's like, wow, where do you stop? You know, it's like, but in a way, I mean, Swift was brilliant. He was a brilliant writer. Very forceful, sort of exposing maybe social iniquities and inequalities.
So, thank you very much.
Oh,
It was a
welcome.
great, really interesting thing, and thank you, Kai, for like setting up this and me with this special guest. And if you wanna add anything to the conversation.
There's so much to add.
Okay.
I would like to take you to the next room, maybe, and show you some more artworks.
Yes, please. So like, I just wrote a story like from the Lebensin event, and from the output from this conversation down in life push people forward. Now we put it in the downgrade.
We do a separate section.
No.